And a good evening. I'm Jeff Kulikowski.
I'm Christy Casciano. Despite his claims, there was no arrest today of Donald Trump.
But ABC's Morgan Norwood says it does appear the Manhattan DA will be wrapping up the criminal investigation into the former president.
Demonstrators from both sides of the aisle starting to gather in New York City as the Manhattan District Attorney's criminal investigation into former President Donald Trump appears to be nearing its end. Fencing going up around the Capitol in Washington, D.C., and metal barricades at the courthouse in Manhattan, where the grand jury will decide on any potential charges. Trump calling on his supporters to protest when he made an unverified claim over the weekend that he would be arrested Thursday in connection to the case, which is looking into hush money payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election. Intelligence bulletins obtained by ABC News warn of a significant increase in threats and general violent rhetoric and say some of Trump's most ardent supporters are still willing to fight on his behalf.
We are always prepared. I can say that from here. I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals or any potential scenarios, but we are always prepared.
On Monday, attorney Bob Costello took the stand in defense of Trump.
The only thing I'm doing is trying to tell the truth to the grand jurors. But Michael Cohen is far from solid evidence.
Michael Cohen, Trump's former fixer, also testifying last week about the $130,000 check he wrote to Daniels a month before the election. He says at Trump's direction, later serving federal prison time in part for that payment. Experts say the payment may have violated campaign finance laws. Trump's legal team saying he paid Daniels to protect his family. But some Republicans coming to Trump's defense, including House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who blasted the Manhattan DA.
What we see before us is a political game being played by a local. Look, this isn't New York City. This is just the Manhattan. This is just a borough DA.
In this investigation, just one of several probes into former President Donald Trump, including a federal investigation involving the potential mishandling of classified documents and obstruction of justice. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
All right, let's go a little bit deeper on the topic of the criminal case, which would be historic if the former president is actually indicted on criminal charges.
Joining us now is Utica University political scientist Luke Perry. Luke, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Luke, try to put this into some historical perspective to start there, both the criminal case against a former president and if he's actually indicted.
It's not common in presidential politics to have a president or a former president with legal trouble. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that presidents are the chief executive. That means they're in charge of the executive branch, and this is a part of the federal government who is responsible for implementing and executing federal law. So fortunately, in the American tradition, we haven't had too many criminal issues in regards to presidents. Obviously, Richard Nixon would be the classic example. He resigned before being indicted and was ultimately pardoned. And then more recently, Bill Clinton did lie under deposition and reached an agreement with the special prosecutor to avoid a criminal indictment. But aside from that, we have not seen this happen often in American politics.
No. If he is indicted, would he get arrested as in put in handcuffs? How might this happen if he does get indicted?
I think prosecutors try to take a holistic approach in doing their jobs, and I believe they certainly do not want to gather any unnecessary attention for what they may feel they need to do here based on what a grand jury decides. So I don't anticipate there would be a prolific arrest of the former president or anything like that. I also don't think that's necessarily in Donald Trump's best interest. So most likely, if there is an indictment, there would be some type of agreement when Trump would turn himself in to face these charges.
Luke, assuming there is an indictment, an arrest, because Donald Trump, the former president, said there would be today, obviously that didn't pan out, what would he actually be looking at? Could he serve time behind bars? You talked about a couple examples where people didn't, former presidents. Would he, what are we looking at as possible punishment here?
It's hard to know. That, of course, will depend on what charges the district attorney brought before the grand jury and what charges that these citizens thought were necessary to bring, because it was likely that Donald Trump committed those crimes. So until we know the facts of that, it's hard to say. I guess the closest comparison at this point would be Michael Cohen, mentioned at the top, the president's former longtime lawyer. He was convicted of multiple crimes, including some that Trump is believed to possibly be charged with, like campaign finance violations. and he faced a 3-year prison term. Most of that was home confinement. So again, I don't want to speculate too much, but that's about all we would have to go on, given the lack of information at this point.
And Luke, what are the political ramifications of this case?
Well, that's a very interesting question because I don't think there's consensus. Donald Trump is such an extraordinary political figure that I think we can read this potential happening in a whole bunch of different ways. But a dominant national media narrative now is that this is going to be helpful for Donald Trump. It will unify the Republican Party behind him and help his chances to earn the nomination. The counter view is that obviously it's virtually unprecedented for a president who lost re-election to once again gain their party's nomination and once again win the presidency. And I don't think any campaign consultant or staff member would welcome news of an indictment of this sort involving the issues that we have here. So I don't think conventional thinking would suggest that this would help anybody, including Donald Trump, but Donald Trump's an extraordinary political figure, so that remains to be seen.
Luke Perry, political scientist from Utica University. I knew you and many others across the nation are going to be very interested to see if, in fact, this plays out tomorrow. Is it Thursday? We will wait and see. Maybe we'll have to have you back to talk about it when we have some sort of resolution in this case. Thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.